The school system is actually teaching people to be poor. Why don't we learn about money in school? Because the government doesn't let us teach that subject. Poverty is passed on. It's taught in your families. And middle class is taught in families. And so the people right now who are sitting at home, who are struggling financially or worried about money or unhappy, they may be making a lot of money, but unhappy with what they're doing, it was probably taught to you.
Stress will come whether you're rich or poor. Okay? Stress will come whether you're rich or poor. There are poor people right now that still have stress in their marriage, stress with their kids, that still don't have friends. You know how many poor people don't have friends? You know how many poor people are not laughing? They're depressed. They're ending their own lives. Depression, sadness, and unhappiness is not only limited to the rich. And there are rich people that are living their life, vacationing every day, feeling young, have vitality. Okay? So depression is an equalizer. Hey friend, welcome to my channel, Kareen Allude, where we talk about everything, and I'm Kareen Allude. If you're not yet part of the Friendship Circle, please be sure to like, subscribe, and join the Friendship Circle. If you're already part of the Friendship Circle, please be sure to turn on your notification bell so you can always know when I post a new upload. Now let's get into this video. Today we are talking about money. We're more so focusing on the mindset, and I am going to argue why I think money can buy you happiness, and I don't necessarily agree with the term that money don't buy you happiness. So I know a lot of my Christians are watching right now disagreeing, like about to throw the Bible at me. So I do want to read a couple Bible verses for those who are faith-based that actually, yes, God speaks about being cautious to not make money our God and like we're obsessed with it to where we do whatever to gain it. But the Bible also speaks about wealth, and there really wasn't that many poor people, leaders that God worked with in the Bible. David was filthy rich. Solomon was one of the most filthiest rich people of all the Bible, and so have many rulers that God has dealt with. He is a God of wealth. So I'm going to change your mind biblically, and I'm going to change your mind analytically, but we're not going to make the video to religious base so everybody can get something from it. But I do want to tackle that part first. First, Philippians 4 verse 9, and I marked all these verses down. It says, "And my God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Jesus Christ." We do not serve a poor God. We do not serve a God of poverty. Okay? He always talks about his riches in heaven and how he will even grant your wishes on earth. My favorite is Matthew 6 verse 26. It says, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" So God is basically saying, if I am providing for the birds of the air, animals, they have food to eat. You are not less than the animals that I created for you to have dominion over. Luke 16 verse 10 to 12, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own?" This one, I grew up on this, where my sister used to always tell me, because she's very spiritual, she always said, because we lived in a terrible house when we first came from Haiti, and she'd always go over and beyond to keep it clean. And I'm like, I don't even care to clean it. It's a dump. And she'd be like, we have to show God that we're faithful with the little bit that he gave us, so that we're preparing ourselves for a bigger home. We're preparing ourselves for more blessings. But God literally does take notes of how you are handling what you got now. You may be at a terrible job you don't really like that, but if you get up every day complaining, not trying to make the best out of it, not trying to grow with position and doing all these things, you're not preparing yourself for a raise or for the potential next position that will get you out of what you're getting. I remember when I was working those minimum wage jobs, those medial jobs, I was still trying to learn other languages on my free time to make myself more profitable and suitable on job applications. Oh wow, she speaks 5 languages. She's already ahead of the curve of everyone else who has applied. I was taking self-help classes, just making myself more marketable. What are you doing with the little that you have? Are you just sitting here waiting for opportunities to come to you, or are you getting up every day, growing and making sure that you're suitable for these opportunities when they come, that you're ready, that you're prepared? What are you reading? Are you reading financial books? Are you trying to understand how banking systems work and all of these things as you're putting your money into it? Which savings plan will be the best plan for you? A lot of times we're not prepared for the riches that we pray to God for, and sometimes we don't get our prayers answered for riches, because God is like, how can I trust you with riches if you don't even know how to save? You have $500 that you had extra left over from whatever, from your check, and you took the whole 500 and you went to blow it, you went to shopping, you went to do this. You're not being a good steward of the little that I give you, so it's kind of hard to bless you with more. And my sister, those words had stuck with me with the clean house, because I saw how year after year we as just a family moved to better and better places. You take care of the little bit you have in your small apartment, keep it clean, keep your dishes clean, take care of it, pay your bills on time, do what you got to do, so that once you elevate bigger, you're already prepared and you're a good steward for those elevations in your life. In Proverbs 28 verse 19, whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits will have plenty of poverty. So God speaks about laziness also all throughout Proverbs. The man who chooses not to work, to indulge in laziness, slothfulness, you will soon come to hunger and poverty. It is not God's will for us to be poor or to dwell in poverty or to not be able to pay for college for our kids, to not be able to pay our rent. We do not serve a God of misery, that he wakes up as just like, I want misery for everybody. He literally says, I want all good things for you, you know, but you got to do your part. We a lot of times just expect God in the universe, whatever you serve, to just attract all these things with positive talking. But faith without works is dead. Just like wishful thinking without action is also dead. Like if I wishfully always say I'm going to be rich one day, I'm going to be in a mansion, but every day I wake up, I'm not doing anything to get me closer to that. Like it's dead. It's just a wish. A wish without a date, without action is just a wish. It's just a dream. Now that we got the religious part out of the way, I'm going to tell you guys the 6 mental secrets that the rich use to get richer, and the rich used when they were in poverty to get to where they're at. And these are just mental secrets. These are not what stocks to invest in and what business to go into and all of this stuff. It's just mentally. And the number 1 secret of the rich is that they tell themselves there's no shortage of money. They don't limit themselves. Even if they're broke, even when they don't have enough, they still believe there is enough. They see money as plentiful. I put a cap and limit and thought that there's just this limit of how big you can go. And that's just not true, no matter what field you're in. If you're in real estate, there's no cap on how many houses you can sell or how much revenue you can bring in that year, okay? If you're selling books, if you're a content creator, there's no limit on how many subscribers, how many followers, how much money you can make, how many people you can, brand deals you can have. There's no cap on money, okay? And a lot of wealthy people that get it into real estate investment and, you know, flipping properties, etc., or buying big businesses and big buildings and renting them out to different offices. There's a lot of money in that too. They don't limit themselves. They're always monopolizing, and it's like an infinite world for them. Money is infinite. Well, you know how much wealth is out there? So once you start to limit yourself, you're already setting yourself up to not be wealthy. Once you start to not see the world in an abundance, you're already telling your mind, you're putting a cap on your abilities. And that goes on to number 2. They set their expectations unreasonably high. They dream big. Like they don't dream like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire someday. No, they'd be like, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm gonna be a trillionaire. I'm gonna have so much money that even if I spent $1 million a day, it will not affect me. There's people that dream that big and they literally made it. You know how many billionaires are in the world? So someone who dreams small, always get your dreams bigger. It's not enough. Not everyone's meant to be a business owner. Not everyone wants to be rich, okay? There are some people that literally just want to live a comfortable life. All right, and that's fine too. Not everybody aspires to do that. Running a business is extremely hard and difficult, and it's not always for everybody. But whatever you're doing in life, dream big. Like when our parents are cliche when they say, okay, even if you wanted to be a teacher, be the best teacher that ever was. You want to be a doctor, be the best doctor that ever was. You want to be a makeup artist, be the best at it. It's to say that dream big with every aspect. If you want to be a teacher, why not one day aspire to open your own private school? No matter what it is, see what your passion is and what you already want to do, and see how you can transform it and make it bigger. And your dreams, if they don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. If it don't seem almost impossible, you're not dreaming big enough. But if you keep telling yourself it's possible, it will be second nature, and you can see like, yeah, I will be there one day. But you have to be optimistic and set your sights really high. Number 3 is that they see money as a sport. Like it's like a game to them. It's like they see it as numbers. You know what I mean? It's Monopoly. It's like a game of Monopoly. It's, oh, if I buy this, this will give me that. But if I'm ready for this, they don't see money as like a toil. Like you have to, it's like a mind game. And they try to find ways to enlarge their territory, and it's like a game to them. Okay, a lot of us, we stay in this place of poverty because we see money as this big scary, like in most Caribbean homes, you know, being from Haiti, we didn't really talk about money like that. And if you did, it was like, you know, it wasn't like big dreams. We aspired for more humble and stuff like that. So it's, money is not seen as a friend. Money is not seen as something you can just monopolize or attract, or that will come to you easy. It always seemed like something you just have to work so extremely hard for, and that there's no fun in it. There's no like different things you can do, like, you know. And I see that with the rich, with the wealthy that I talk to, they always talk about it like a game of football. Like seriously, even the women. Like I talked to one of the women that's my friend, oh my goodness, she owns different little companies. Like she franchised herself, and she's a lawyer, and she franchised herself different law offices all over Florida. And she does not limit herself with that. And it's like she sees it as a game. She talks about it like we're watching a football game or a tennis match or something. That's how she talks about it. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do next, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, wow, there's no fear, there's no like doubt, there's nothing like that. And then she actually accomplishes what she has to accomplish, which goes into number 4. There's no fear. There's no fear. You cannot speak with fear in your heart with your dreams. You got to go boldly. Yes, there will be setbacks. Nothing is perfect. There will be things that we did not expect. But even when they come, you have to tell yourself, I'm going to be prepared for when they come. And not just tell yourself that, but work to be prepared. And that's even with the financial company I worked at. The owners, they always keep themselves up to code. Be prepared, but do not be in fear. There's a difference between being prepared and living in fear. Number 5. They see money as a friend. I saw this Instagram post. Is this lady, I don't know which country in Africa she was from, but she was like, money loves me. Money is a friend to me. I had to save that as a sound. And I listen to it every now and then, but it's like, I love that ideology, that mentality, that money is your friend. It's not your enemy. It's here to help you. It's here to enhance your life. It's here to make life easier for you. Okay, and God knows that. Do not see money as an enemy. Do not see it as this evil. Okay, people are evil. People use money for evil, or they go after it as evil. But itself is just monetary. It's not evil. It's your friend. It loves me. Money loves me. Money and I, we're buddies. We talk, we negotiate. And I know if I lose this, I'm gonna gain it another way. Don't worry about money. I know it's always gonna come my way. And Africans are really big on that too. They just, you know, once the ones who got it, it's like money is always gonna come, so I'm not pressed over it. You have to see money as a friend, okay, as a lover. It will always smell you around and be like, ooh, let me go sit next to her. Let me go sit next to him. Opportunities will just open for you once you see money as a friend and not as the enemy. And lastly is see being rich as natural. See it as natural. Like my best friend always says, I was born to be rich, not poor. She always say that it's natural for her. Even in our poverty, we were roommates. We were eating noodles every day and cabbage soup. We literally had at one point 1 cabbage in the fridge with like seasonings in the pantry. That was it. And the rest of the fridge was empty. We had nothing else. And I chopped up that cabbage, seasoned it, and that's what we ate. Like we struggled, okay? And now when we both had got our first Mercedes-Benz, and we're just like, wow, look where we came from. But even in that stage of our life, when we're eating cabbage soup and was eating noodles for like 3-4 years, struggling in school, trying to make it work, she always spoke like I was born to be rich. And we lived a life where we wasn't recklessly spending, but we didn't live like this was where we were supposed to be. And we just naturally just made money our friend and something that is natural, that was meant to be, that is not a coincidence. When you walk into a wrong room, you belong there. And when you acquire the money, it doesn't feel like, because some people acquire big lump sums of money and they are afraid of it. They don't know what to do with it, or they squander it. But when it's natural to you, you will just know what to do with it. You've been preparing all your life with what you're going to do to it, what you're going to invest in, and all of those things. Remember, preparing is very key. Now let's get into the meat of this video, is how does money buy happiness, Korean? You still haven't touched up on that. Let me tell you something, okay? I find that for me, I am a lot more stressed. Stress will come whether you're rich or poor, okay? Stress will come whether you're rich or poor. It's like, hey, listen, you will still always have bills. You will still always have people that fight with you. There are poor people right now that still have stress in their marriage, stress with their kids, that still don't have friends. You know how many poor people don't have friends? You know how many poor people are not laughing? They're depressed. They're ending their own lives. Depression, sadness, and unhappiness is not only limited to the rich. And there are rich people that are living their life, vacationing every day, feeling young, have vitality. Okay? So depression is an equalizer. Unhappiness is an equalizer. And happiness comes from you first, not from what you have. Okay? So I'm a strong believer that money cannot change me. Money is not what changed people. These people were already evil and vile, and they didn't work on themselves first before they obtained the money. So once they got the money, it was easy for it to change them. When you all your life have worked on yourself, you've done therapy, you cultivated a good persona on you, a good solid faith base, or even if not faith based, you just make sure you're a good person daily and you're naturally helpful. So many rich people, like I tell you guys, so many of them that literally is always at a homeless shelter, especially the Haitian ones that I have. They're always in Haiti doing some kind of philanthropic work, donating and being active. There's a lot of people that just are naturally good people, and money cannot change them. But when you have not done the work for yourself, of course money is going to easily corrupt you because you are not filled with goodness. Okay, so I don't think necessarily money destroy or make people evil. I think people already have that. Now, there are people that get a little cocky, a little arrogant. A lot of times what makes people evil is that they forget where they're from. I can never forget where I'm from. I can never leave my family. Like if I'm making a little extra and I can help in this way, I'm always going to. I can never forget where I'm from. I can never forget my people. I can never forget my struggle. And money is not meant to be a tool to oppress others on. There are some wealthy people that I know that just like make it every day to show others that you're not where I'm at, you're poor, and they're they're boastful, and they feel like they're up here, you got to meet them there. And it's so unattractive because I'm like, you can tell the money corrupted them, and it's as if newly rich, they're not, it's like the money is just, it changes their whole demeanor, and they forgot what it means to be human, and that just because someone has less than you does not mean that they are beneath you mentally, physically, spiritually. They might even be happier than you. And you got to remember, I know there's not a lot of faith-based people that watch my channel, but for me being faith-based, I stand on this word that God said, in heaven, that's where your riches will be stored. Those who were poor here on earth, but that was faithful and being kind, that were good people, that were generous, that gave their last, those are the ones in heaven that will have the most riches. And then you'll see people here filthy rich, here they'll all will be equal. There's no such thing as being better than anyone. Okay, we can only strive to be good, and your money should not be something that is used to show off all your cars. It should not be something to use to show off all your jewelry, all of your stuff. Like it's not me. Every time I get money, I always spend it on experiences. Because what's to store treasures here on earth? The Bible even say that. Be careful of those who store treasures here on earth, but not the spiritual kingdom. I try to do experiences. Let's travel. Let's go here. I want to eat this place, and bring other people or help other people versus just accumulating things to show off and creating more debt. Now I have 5 cars. Why do I need 5 Rolls Royce? Why do I need 5 Benz or 5 Ferraris? Why do I need 10 houses? Why do I need it? Why do I need it? It's more bills that you're paying. If I can have my 2 cars, in case one thing is wrong with this car, I can get this other car, I'm good. If I can have my 1 house, why do I need 3? Why? Property tax ain't cheap. You know what I mean? And it's flexing. So I think, to me, money buys happiness in a sense. I'm happier when I have money. I can travel. I can swipe without necessarily checking my account. Do you know how stressful it was when I was poor? And I'd go to Walmart and I'd have to check, make a quick transfer, penny pinching. We used to look in between the couches and in the glove compartment for quarters just to go buy from the dollar menu at McDonald's. Miserable. And now I have money, I can eat healthier. I can go to the farmer's market and afford better quality food, which in turn help my mental state. I can pay for insurance when I go to the doctor. I was very sickly in college. I was always in and out of hospitals, and I acquired so much debt because I didn't have insurance. And now it's like I can go to the hospital and not even worry. Just give him my card, pick up my prescriptions, and do all these things because it's paid for. If I'm in a relationship, he decides to leave, I'm good. I can take care of myself. I'm not gonna try to figure it out with my kids and struggle. So money is not my enemy. It helps me. A lot of people are in debt. They're sick. They have no hope of how they're gonna figure it out because they don't have the money to figure it out. To have this notion, I think it's something we told ourselves when we were young to make us feel better. When we look at the rich, we're like, but they're depressed. Just say, instead of saying money doesn't buy happiness, say that happiness comes from within, regardless of money or not. Because trying to make yourself feel better, you're letting your brain believe this and you're not striving for more. Yes, cultivate relationships. You can have true friendships when you have money. Have discernment. Have discernment. Put yourself in positions to understand how humans work. I took several psychology classes. I bought several books on body language, all of these things. Like, I know when I'm being played. I know when someone's like, I have the discernment to see who's here for me and who's not. And I will never speak so low of money as if it does not solve 90% of our problems. When it does, money allows us to be givers, to be there. How are you gonna be generous with the poor with little? God wants us to be there for the widow, right? He wants us to be there for the homeless. He wants us to be there for the orphans. How we're gonna do that without money? How can you be there for yourself in order to be there for others without money? You can't go feed the homeless without money, because what you're gonna get the food? Where are you gonna get the food? So it doesn't make sense to me. Y'all need to stop being afraid of money and stop telling yourself lies about money to make you feel better in the position you're in. There's always gonna be someone God bless a little bit more for you to be there for everybody else. I don't wanna be one of those people that cannot be there for everybody else. If there's a crisis in my country, an earthquake or something, I don't want to rely on the Red Cross in this when I can just gather my other friends. We got money and we go hands down on the grounds and do something about it. Or my neighborhoods, I see, like, go visit my schools, my ex-high school. They need a new library. I can donate for the funding of the new library, for books. How can I do that without money? You cannot create new opportunities for others if you're avoiding wealth. So I always say money buys happiness. It buys peace. Okay, but happiness comes from within. But money does put a piece that makes it easier for you to be happy. It does solve a lot of our problems. And one of the biggest ways, once you help others with the money you've acquired, you will see that there is happiness in seeing that you made someone else smile. You helped somebody else. God don't accept laziness from us. He said he's going to question us with our abilities. Why didn't you use your talents? Why didn't you use the abilities that I gave you? 36, 37, 40 years old, and you're still fighting doing anything with yourself because you just don't believe. You're not working towards anything. You're not reading any books. You're not having a game plan. And you're just telling yourself that it's not necessary. It's a selfish act that we do when we don't do our best so that we can be there for those who can't be. And it's also selfish that some people who are rich neglect that. And instead of using their money to be there for others, they use it to flex and bring others down. It's very ugly. I'm not saying don't splurge on yourself, take care of yourself too, because Solomon did, David did, so many people in the Bible, like they had their huge mansions, they had this, that, and God didn't frown upon it. He found a blessing, but also do not use it to oppress people or one-up them. And always be humble and always understand that things can change so quickly. And please do not look at people in appearance. When I say this, some people look so average, guys, and they'd be wealthier than the people with all the chains, golds, cars, and stuff. Like, you have no idea. They will never flex. You will never know. You'll go to their Instagram. It's so simple. You will never know. They're not posting all their trips, all this stuff, but they're actually doing it. And they're also helpful to other people. There are people that are just not that shallow. You can make the money, but if you're not being wise about it, what does it mean? And flexing will keep you down, because it's like, imagine you make millions on here and then you're just buying like 30 different wigs each day that are like 60 inches, $3,000-$4,000. And it's like, sis, you could have got a mortgage, a nice house, 2 cars. You could have started a business. You could, like, you're buying a new Chanel bag every week. You're buying Louboutin shoes. You don't believe in fast fashion that still is thick fabric and lasting fabric. You're still trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you're not acquiring any assets. You're just acquiring liabilities for yourself. You're not starting any new businesses or any new streams of income. You're just trying to keep up with flex culture, trying to get your Cuban links or whatever. I wanted to talk about that because it was on my mind, and I haven't done a financial video, but comment below what other financial topics you guys would like for me to break down. I love you guys so much, and no matter what, if you don't get nothing from this video, remember that money is your friend. Money is your bestie. It's your sis. It's your bro. Money loves you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.